Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Ozark Outpost. This is Global War 85, Operation Abrams, U.S. Global Command 12.4. All right, for starters, you remember from last time the Soviets put 3 damage on the minor army base in Macaw. The Americans have paid that off. Okay, tech. SDI with 2 dice. Advanced ASF and Advanced Airborne. Oh, look at that. Smacked it hard. We hit everything. SDI is completed. Completed SDI. The Star Wars network is up and operating. Advanced ASF goes to stage 3, Advanced Airborne to stage 2. SDI is the big one because that gives the Americans 3 dice for counterforce release, which is going to be our next bit of business. No, didn't get it. No counterforce release. Okay. Military aid and purchase. They're doing the trifecta to NATO, spending 18 for a destroyer, a next-gen MBT, and an A-10. Okay, for themselves, the Americans are spending 14 on a pair of MBTs and an attack chopper, 8 more on 2 more MBTs, 12 on a pair of next-gen MBTs, and 8 yet again on 2 more MBTs. Okay, combat. Okay, we are going to have 2 unopposed combats. 2 roundels. The Airborne from Somali Republic does a regular overland attack unopposed into Kenya. Captures that. The Amphib with this task force picks up the Marine from South Africa and goes 1, 2, 3 up here for an unopposed amphibious assault into Nigeria. Okay, so that is US up to 61, Soviets down to 41. That also lifts the restriction on replacing the tankers in A41 and 42. They are now back in action, or can be purchased and put back in action. This also, I'm going to cover it while we're here, takes 2 strategic objectives away from the Soviets. Okay, I'll show you that chart again. Now I guess I can move this over here. Yep, they lost 2. The only eligible land zone they have left in Africa is Angola. None of the others are worth any IPP. Okay, so next combat, that was it for the unopposed. The next combat is going to be an attack from Suez into Western Egypt. The 4 MBTs are going to attack, along with the 2 attack choppers. Three artillery, and 4 fighters. That's it. Everybody else is staying behind. The SAM, the SPAG, and the two mechs are staying behind. So there's that attack. Then we're going to come over here and have a little bit of fun in Europe. Okay, at the Joint Air Base in Rhineland, the United States has a B-52. It's going to take off and fly 1, 2, 3 over here to Western Poland and shoot a pair of cruise missiles into Belarus in a surgical strike. Also from the Joint Air Base in Rhineland, we have a B-1. Yes, we're going to have some B-1 fun. He's going to take off 1, 2, we'll say 3, 4, 5. Plenty of range. 5, yeah. And he is going to first off shoot his AGM-69 at the minor air base. Is that how we want to do that? Yeah, well, we have to actually. We can't target Warsaw Pact because we're not released for them. So yeah, AGM-69 at the minor air base in Western Ukraine, and then AGM-86B at the major army base. Or no, excuse me, AGM-86B. Let me think about that just a second. Now I got it straight. The AGM-86B will do a surgical strike, Western Ukraine. Theater missile from Piedmont, 1, 2, 3, 4, hitting the major air base or major army base in Western Ukraine. So if we hit the minor air base there, then fighter can't scramble to try to intercept. We also, from the joint base in Rhineland, we have a Top Gun ASF and an attack bomber. Plenty of range. An attack bomber is going to come in and join the surgical strike with battlefield nukes, and Top Gun ASF is going to come along to escort. If the AGM-69 misses, the Soviets will scramble a fighter into interception from Western Ukraine, and Warsaw Pact is going to try to be good allies, and from their major air base in Hungary, they're going to scramble a fighter and an early gen fighter into Western Ukraine. And I believe that'll be it for combat. So since we're up here, we're going to do this part first. We'll start with Belarus. So we'll start with Belarus after I get another one of them. Okay. So there's no defense in Belarus. Western Ukraine will have spy satellite support. Belarus doesn't need it because US has PGM. So 2 cruise missiles gets 1 hit. And since PGM gives all cruise missiles target select, they're going to hit in MBT. There's that. Take those off. Okay, there's that one. Now we're going to do the action in Western Ukraine. Now the AGM-69 gets to be fired before any interception. But it does get a defense shot. So here's their one defense, because that's a minor base. It missed. Okay, now the AGM-69, and I've got to remind myself of the attack value, because it just slipped out of my head. AGM-69. Okay, that's 1D3. 1D3. Okay, that's a 2, which on a D3 I think is 2. Is that 2 damage or 1? On a D3, that's 2 damage. Either way, the airbase is damaged and nothing can be scrambled from there. That's the purpose of the B1 paving strike. Okay, that was successful. Okay, now we will have interception combat, because Warsaw Pact is scrambling a fighter and an early gen fighter. Okay, so fighter for Warsaw Pact. That is a miss. Early gen fighter. That's a miss. Two different dice. And Top Gun ASF for the Americans. That is an interception hit. So Warsaw Pact is going to lose the early gen fighter. And now we have 3 dice at 5 for the AGM-86B surgical strike. Nothing. All that and they did nothing. So now we got the attack bomber doing, oh wait a minute, the attack bomber got interception roll. Uh-oh, they got a 1, so that shoots down the NATO or Warsaw Pact fighter as well. It's a bad time to try to be a good ally, lose all your planes. All right, now the attack bomber does its battlefield nukes, and it gets 2 hits. And they had spy satellite here, but that doesn't get him target select, that just gets him full value. Okay, so they're gonna, oh, wait a minute. I forgot something. 2 hits. I forgot the spag that's there. It gets to shoot. Okay, nothing. So, all right, but we're above board. Everything happened the way it should. So 2 hits. They're going to take 1 on the spag, and they're going to take 1 on the artillery. No. Change that. Look at those guys sitting there waiting. They're going to take the hits on 2 paramilitary. That's how they're going to do that. Okay, so the B1 strike is done. Now we got the theater missile against the major army base. So it gets 2 defense shots. both of which miss. Okay, theater missile. Another Little Joe. Little Joe from Kokomo. Okay, so there's 3 damage on that base. And I believe that's all of the combat. Let's see, is that all of the combat? The Americans have 6 cruise missiles. They shot 2. No, I forgot a combat. We're going to have another surgical strike with a pair of cruise missiles shot by the B-52 from Diego Garcia. He is going to fly over to I-6. Actually, you can do it from I-7. 1, 2. Actually, no, we'll shoot him into Shiraz. 2 cruise missiles into Shiraz, no SAMs and no defense. Double boxcars. They missed. Okay. Now we're done with combat. No, we're not. We gotta do Western Egypt. I'm trying to get ahead of myself here. Okay, so I'm gonna try and do this quick. So we have 3 artillery for the Americans just shooting regular. First strike. And guess what? There's 2 first strike hits. 2 first strike hits for the American. Okay, now we have a field artillery doing chemical in defense for Warsaw Pact. No hits. And we have a SAM, first strike defense. No hits. Okay, that's it for first strike. So Warsaw Pact has to lose 2 units. Big surprise, it's going to take the 2 that just shot. So you see what's left there. Okay, we've got 4 MBTs at 3 because of the desert. They got 1 hit. And then we have 2 attack choppers. There's a second hit, that's what's needed. We're gonna go ahead and do the fighters. And there is 1 overkill, so they got plenty. So we have 2 light infantry defending. They get 1 hit. Okay, those guys come off. 1 hit. So we will kill an MBT. That off there. Get a roundel. There we are. The artillery come in. That's it for combat, so now we're into non-combat. The fighters land back in Suez, as well as the attack choppers. They are not going to combat land. They're going back where they came from. Okay, we move a mech from Makkah up to northern Saudi. There we go. Actually, I forgot a combat. The mech in South Africa does an unopposed attack on Southwest Africa and liberates that. There we go. All right. B-52 flies back to Diego Garcia. The fleet all goes over there to A-47 to stick together. This SSN from A3 moves up to A4. Two next-gen MBTs, field artillery, and attack chopper move up to East Poland. Three MBTs and a SAM go 1-2 into Bavaria. I don't think they can do strategic land movement with somebody else's army base. I don't believe that's allowed. So they move 2 spaces over here to Bavaria. The American Airborne on Iceland. He's going to airlift down here to Lazio. The next-gen MBT afloat in A26 does 1, 2, 3 over here to go ashore in Picardy. Ashore in Picardy. And we've got Top Gun ASF from Great Lakes, does an air redeployment to Rhineland. All of the air from the strikes earlier all flies back to Rhineland. The A-10 that is in Great Lakes, that one air redeploys to Western Poland. And I think that's it for non-combat. Yep, I believe that's it for non-combat. So let's place some units. All right. 2 next-gen MBTs and 2 MBTs are going at the major Army base in Northeast United States. Then around this way, 2 MBTs are going to South Africa, to the minor army base there. And 2 MBTs are going to the minor army base in Suez. And the attack chopper decision. The attack chopper is going to go with the minor air base in Macau. One more non-combat. The SAM from Eastern Saudi is moving up to Northern Saudi. So get a chip under that. And we're going to go ahead with the hill. The SAM in UAE is going to go 1-2 also into Northern Saudi. Okay, I think that's it for non-combat. Or non-combat and placing units. Okay, now we deliver military aid. The destroyer is going to the major shipyard in southern France. So it goes on the task force card there, giving them 4 destroyers. Then the A-10 is delivered to the joint air base in Rhineland. So it goes right there. And the next gen MBT is delivered to northern Germany. It's military aid delivered. Okay, now we roll for aid to pack. $11. Oh, that hurts. Gotta give them 6. Okay, the Americans are at 61. Plus 8 is 69. Minus 6 for aid to pack is 63. And then minus 4 more for oil tankers is 59. Okay, the Americans shot 4 cruise missiles. And they build 1, 2, 3. Shot 4, build 3. So net loss of 1. There's that. And they just get 1 anti-ship missile. Okay, Ozark Outpost, over and out.